Very so.
Yeah.
I'm sure she doesn't know.
Somebody know. I'm saying, how much?
She's 64.
It's hard to comprehend, I'm sure.
Meanwhile, Tuesday, yeah. All of this. Everything was IND.
Basically, a little more seriously. Well, that's awful to hear that.
Yeah, he's a lot older. I guess out of all, so it's just.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she said anything about it.
Maybe I think it's.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's
Yeah.
early detections.
Mm-hmm.
What stage is it? Early.
That's part of the problem, communication with them is very difficult, but we do know we like at least 10 seasons of commission review, which doesn't sound more.
Since a lot, that's there.
Yeah. It looks to be more or less. I keep telling Drew, you need to just. People from the rural.
Oh,
Part of it.
what's it? What's it?
Mom's. So.
Is that where Drew like grew up?
He was born.
I got it. Anyway, there.
It's beautiful, but it's very.
Yeah, actually, he was a lot of movies here.
It's like 45 minutes.
Super world. Appalachia. Yeah, it's like Nashville and Knoxville or so different. Part of the world though.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
How close is the, I think, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, what is that? Okay, so yeah. Smokies, I guess.
Morning all.
Shut everything down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that they did it.
Coffee.
She just made
Coffee. You got some in there. In my beautiful pink cup.
Yeah.
Because one of my kids ran away with my cup. So I stole my wife's. It's okay, I got her a new cup for New Year's last year. So this is the backup cup. But I filled this last night as I left the house. Put it in the fridge. It's still warm.
Oh, wow.
Her cup is so much better than mine.
Coffee?
Yeah.
And you put it in the fridge and stuff?
In the fridge in the hotel because I figured it'd be cold because my cup it would get cold. It is still, it's not piping hot.
Well, no, but
But it is a warm coffee.
pretty good.
The technology they had for my wife's drinks.
Seems like you got the better end of it. You complained at first, but it seems like you got a good deal.
Well, no, because she's gonna want it back. Now I know what the world has to offer. I've been spoiled.
Get you another little pink cup.
Tell her it's backup.
We need another lilac cup.
Yeah, he called it pink, I would have called it lilac.
I know 6 names of colors.
Okay.
Okay, if I can have your attention, we'll go ahead and get started. It's at 9:01. First order of business is confirmation of quorum. I think we're there. And confirmation of public notice or any requests for public participation.
Public notice was sent and there was no request for any participation public.
So the next item of business is the approval of the minutes of our August 21st, 2025 meeting. I have a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Been moved second that those minutes be approved. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The minutes are approved. We now move to section of reports, and first up is the executive director.
Good morning. The first thing I'd like to draw to your attention is we've made some corrections to the status of cases. And in addition to that, we have some late added cases. This is the last couple of weeks for our EEOC contract. And so we're working very hard to get those cases in through September 30th. The correction on where it says status of cases, there were actually 39 cases that were submitted for my approval. There were 37 employment. And of those 37 employment, 27 were no probable cause. 2 of the 27 no probable cause were reconsiderations. 6 of the employment cases were withdrawn without settlement. 3 were withdrawn with a right to sue request, and 1 was withdrawn without settlement. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. I also in your folders, and we'll make sure that the people attending virtually to send you a copy of this. We also have a list of the late added cases that were added before this. As I mentioned before, we have till September 30th to submit our cases for our EEOC contract. We are on track. We believe that we will be meeting that contract, which is 151 cases for the year, for the fiscal year, federal fiscal year. As mentioned before, we have met the HUD contract. We had a meeting on September the 16th this week with HUD and FAP quarterly check-in meeting. And there are a couple of changes. It should not affect our contract as of right now. Just some of the forms and the ways that we submit things have changed somewhat. Cedric is not here today, but I will mention that he has completed the interviews for the Enforcement Officer 1 position, and we hope to have that position filled soon. And we have, I mentioned about the Gallery of Great Black Kentuckian Posters. Juan will give you an update on a poster that we'll be doing in the next week or so. We are scheduled to have a local commission roundtable. Juan will also give more information on that. It's going to go completely virtual. We did have it initially as a hybrid, but everybody that was registering only virtually. So we're going to go with just a virtual meeting. We still have room at the table for the Hopkinsville Unity Breakfast. If anyone is interested in attending that, please let me or Maria know so that we can reserve your spot at the table. And I will answer any questions that you may have about my report.
Any questions for Cynthia? I guess in those meetings with HUD and the EOC, other
Yes.
than changes in form, nothing of any substance.
Well, yes, and basically what they told us is for our region, they've lost almost half of their staff. But they're saying that everything will go the way that it has been going. They're just rearranging and changing how they do some things. And what we get, for instance, we get a document that we have to fill out to get reimbursed for our training for HUD. That document's going to change, and how they go about approving your information is going to change. That document.
In the list of case closures, 9639E and 9768E, which is, I'm assuming the claim is stated the same. Was there a difference in terms of he didn't name the right employer the first time?
Yes. Which one are you saying? 9639?
9639E.
And which, what the other one?
976080.
Yeah, I believe that what that was is you had a employer and you had a staffing, employment. Yes. That placed him in that, with that employer.
Then, I guess under, withdrawals 9698E, which is the Kentucky Commission versus Madisonville Health and Rehabilitation. It's on the,
Yes.
page 18, on page 18 there.
9698 T. that's in front of you?
Yeah, T.
Yes. I'm sorry, what was the question?
So that was withdrawn with 7.
Yes,
That legal case? Is that a cause case?
yes,
Curious. Yeah,
It was
good.
settled.
Yeah, it was mediated.
yes.
Okay.
Because it's the commission versus.
Well, it shouldn't be the commission versus, I'm not sure that's what's,
what's on it. We can change it.
okay,
That's what was on the,
okay. Because it say the administrative hearings process, so the name doesn't, only when we sue in court on housing cases, do we file. Well, so
was probably what was on the CRC.
perhaps
No, I hadn't seen one like that before.
that's, yeah.
Anyone else, any more questions for Cynthia? None, let's move to budget and personnel, Brandon.
Good morning. You have my report before you. I will draw your attention to the comment under fiscal and budget status about the commissioner's travel. I just want to clarify that that's all travel, not travel just specific to commission meetings. So I can break that out further in the future if you all would like. Now, I would love to have any questions at this time.
Is your report this month? When will we see in the report the cost of reprinting and rebranding and all this stuff we had to change?
Next,
Next,
well,
It really depends the quantity that we order.
we ordered a smaller
But
quantity.
this time we order small quantity.
It'll be in next month's. It'll be a line item in next month's, and
Very good.
I'll give you that number if you'd like.
no, just, I want to know when, I'm gonna keep an eye out for it.
Yeah.
When to keep an eye out
Yeah,
for it.
I
So
don't think we-
line item E251 is not it.
That's the previous order, right before the state fair, I believe. I can.
We ordered quite a few.
Yeah, we
because
ordered a
were
lot.
We were hoping that, well, we always in the past had a lot attendance at the state fair, so we wanted to make sure that we had enough.
Yeah, so,
But this time we just ordered much
Very good.
yeah, we're gonna,
less.
it's through the state, so we can do it pretty easily. Just order as needed.
Yes.
Any questions, additional questions from Brandon? Hearing none, so we mediation sign.
Good morning, everyone. You have my report before you. It's again, an uptick in public accommodations cases, and on my end at least, we've been having a lot more cases claiming discrimination based on pregnancy, at least the ones I'm mediating. And with the cases that have been resolved, the report says one's pending, 2 are pending. The one from yesterday is pending a resolution, and the total settlement is accurate since the last report. Since the September 10th one resolved, but we're still waiting for payments to go through, so I didn't include that.
Questions for Sana? Okay, hearing none, so you gonna do the enforcement?
Yes.
So,
We apologize, you did not receive the enforcement branch report in your book. It's been put in your folder, and then I emailed a copy to those of you joining virtually. As of September 17th, there were 75 open housing cases, 53 cases were over 100 days, and 22 cases were over 200 days. We're hoping with the appointment of new staff that we'll be able to get those numbers down even more. The average age of housing cases right now is 168 days. Again, our goal, production goal, it says 150, but it's actually 151. And again, I think that we will meet that number at the end of this month. There have been.
On those, Cynthia,
Mhm.
given the new language that cannot be in cases,
Yes,
did we have a number of cases with that were in there 151
Yes.
this time? So we're gonna meet the goal, but maybe not get them all accepted.
well, right now, we've submitted more than what we actually need. Right now, we have 6 cases. We have 140 something cases. We have 10 that are just waiting the 10-day reconsideration period. We've submitted cases, the only ones that have been not approved, we've had 6 of those. And all 6 of those cases have the terminology that we talked about before, that we had to take out.
You said that they've already finished interviewing new people.
Yes,
When is their aimed start date?
October 1st, we're
Okay.
You take some time to scan through the report to see whether or not there are any additional questions that people might have.
I also wanted to mention that Cedric Rolanda, one of his staff, and also Sana attended the University of Illinois Chicago School of Law Housing Conference, September 4th through 5th.
I was just going to inquire about that very thing, given the issues that are most recent. Were there any points of any highlights that were gleaned from that particular training that might be helpful to our work as commissioners?
Would you like me?
Please.
Yes, it was a great training. It was held at the law school, and given recent limitations on what we can do, there was a lot of innovative thinking in the trainings in terms of rather than focusing what we can't do, what we can do within the parameters of the law. And Cedric and I talked about putting together the material they gave us in a more concise form to share with the staff, but I'm sure we can share it with the commissioners as well. Unfortunately, there was a dark cloud throughout the entire training because they did have a lot of former federal heads, for instance, of the civil rights section of the DOJ, and it was disappointing to hear about a lot of the backwards movement we've had. But again, it was coupled with a lot of strategic tips for litigation in order to keep up with what we're tasked with doing and enforcing.
Can I ask you,
Thank you.
after the events of last week, it feels like let's call it editing, is going stronger, not weaker. Was there anything discussed at the conference of future changes that might happen, like the one we just had that required all the printing? Is there anything else on the horizon we're watching out for that? I don't know if that question makes sense.
Do you mind clarifying?
Sure. If you had asked me 2 months ago, were you going to make any major changes to our printing, I would have said, I don't think so. And then we got this ruling, and we had to suddenly shift all the printing regarding the cases that we can't get government
Yeah.
funding for.
I mean, I don't think we have any reason to believe anything more is coming, but I mean, that was a surprise.
So I'm saying at this conference, was there anything else on the horizon that they were watching out for that this change might also come? That's what I was asking, because if you have all these experts there, someone might have it on the horizon.
The big focus was cuts in funding. Essentially, no matter what the law is, when you're cutting funding, there's only so much an organization can do. And so there was a big focus on that. It was nice to see that there are a lot of private entities that are offering their expertise to a lot of nonprofits and even state agencies to the extent they can.
Thank you.
Okay, one, education outreach.
Good morning, Commissioners. You have my report before you. So a couple of things I'd like to highlight. One is, well, a few things. One, I just passed around the updated, I guess, Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals district map, which reflects the districts of your work. And I also passed along the list of local humorous commissions that falls within the districts that might help to for you to reach out. In our last meeting, in orientation was mentioned that we would like to be more just more active in their commissions and their towns and cities. So hopefully that would help. As you can see, that not all of them are active, and perhaps that's one of the areas that your free time to reach out to the mayors and any city councils in that towns, for example, like Lebanon, Kentucky. They have the ordinances, their books, but they don't have the board members to work on their commissions. So some of the areas that we can use some help there. The list gets updated regularly. The directors and chairs, they have that many. We have 23 local humorous commissions, so they change regularly. For example, I just learned last week that the director of the Owensboro Human Relations Commission just have a new one. So again, that's the list. We will update it regularly as soon as we get the information. Ms. Cynthia Fox mentioned earlier about the
So how many of these signed up for the
Round table, how many are signed up for the one?
the last time I checked, the number of registrations were at 28 registrations. That excluding the staff of the Human Rights Commission here. And we're pushing, so we're sending them more emails and making that personal invitation to attend. So we have our liaison person with the EEOC, Jeremy Sales, has agreed to speak. I'm still waiting for the confirmation of Mr. President. He's the field office director of HUD in Kentucky. And apparently, because of change what they're experiencing, so they have to go through extra hoops to get that authorization to speak. So I'm still waiting to hear his confirmation. But it looks good. Again, you as commissioners invited to be part of it. Be happy to send you the link, and think that would be an opportunity. I'm sorry, that's on the 25th of this month. That's next, what's the 25th? That's the next Thursday? Yes. So the other item that I'd like to highlight is the 65th Gallery of the Great Black Kentucky Imposter. So we're going to recognize Mr. John Johnson for his leadership and work in civil rights. So I thought that the NSCP State Conference was going to be in December, but I guess my dates didn't see the right month. So we found out 2 weeks ago that the conference is on the 26th and 27th in Owensboro. But we were able to get all the logistics and the commitment from the officers of the NSCP State Conference to and agreed to let us unveil the post for Mr. John Johnson. And Mr. John Johnson he would be able to attend. So we're happy to do that. So the Vice President Randolph has said that we're gonna do the unveiling in I guess the major highlight of the event that will be on the 27th. That's my understanding, but I have the feeling that might be subject to change. But if it changes, I'll let you know as soon as I find out. I have not received the official agenda yet. I'm still waiting. But as soon as I receive that, I will be more than happy to share with you. Also, in my previous report, I had a event that we're supposed to do on October the 8th. That's the Kentucky Hispanic Networking Summit. I had everything, well, we're gonna cancel this event. In the past, it has been very successful, but I was not able to secure sponsors to provide to help us with the food. This is a all-day event, and usually a part of the event is to provide lunch. It attracts a lot of people who come as far away from Ashland and Paducah and so on. So we were not able to secure the funds or strong supporters were not able to help us with the funds for launch, partly because of what's happening at the federal level. For example, the extension offices to receive federal money, federal funds, and I believe there's some restrictions they cannot partner or sponsor to other government entities or organizations. So they said, we want to help you, but we have this restriction, so I'm sorry we cannot, but maybe in the future when things change. So we start to, again, every corner we turn around, it seems like a limited what we can receive.
Yeah, lots of organizations are running into that one.
Yeah, I believe it. Yes, yes. Also another great another gallery of the great Black Kentuckians that we would like to unveil is for the late Judge Brown. That will be in November. So we're
So it's gonna be November the.
14th.
Tell you exactly.
I think is that the Freedom Banquet on
Yeah.
November the 14th at 6 p.m.
Oh, you got it.
I got it. Yes.
Yeah, November 14th, 6 p.m.
Yeah, that will be at the
Muhammad Ali Center.
yes, yes. So just I work with you, Chair, to see how we can make this happen and be on the agenda and recognized for his work in the state.
Is that for, just to be sure, is this for J. Michael Brown?
Yes, Commissioner. Yes.
Okay, all right.
So that's all I have. Happy to take any questions that you may have.
Any additional questions for Juan? Hearing none, legal unit. Oh,
Good morning. You've got my report. If there are any questions about that before I move on into my next item, I'm happy to answer any questions. Okay. All right. We discussed today and last month the need to update our materials in response to the HUD letter requiring us to remove logos or any references to HUD in our brochure and fair housing poster. On Friday, Maria sent to the group the proposed regulatory changes that have to be made after we change those materials. Our regulations require that certain things be posted in certain places and requires that real estate folks in real estate transactions provide the fair housing brochure. Because we changed the brochure, we also must change the regulation. I have prepared, and again, Maria sent to you both an emergency regulation and an ordinary regulation for which I need commission approval and Chair Burse's signature. Since Maria sent the materials on Friday, I had made a couple of small changes, but I want you to be fully informed before providing any kind of vote or feedback otherwise. Brandon, could you do me a favor and share that statement of emergency quickly? So again, I'm filing both an emergency regulation and an ordinary regulation. The emergency regulation requires the signature of the governor as well as the signature of the agency head, which is Chair Burse. On the statement of emergency, I changed the font to mirror the rest of the materials, and I also found one typo. That's the only change in the statement of emergency. Otherwise, the emergency regulation and the ordinary regulation are identical, but we need the emergency regulation to go into effect immediately. So the people regulated by our regulation know what their obligation is under the regulation. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but ultimately seek approval and signature on both regulations and the statement of emergency. Happy to talk about them.
Are there any questions for anyone? I think what's there is very straightforward, and then the changes that are made were at least were highlighted in the emergency regulation, then so it just follows through.
That's right.
I couldn't open
Yeah, I'll give you mine.
it.
I don't want to, actually, I need him to sign this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want the little emergency.
Period. Never mind.
Thank you.
I will highlight again, I mentioned a couple of changes. We went ahead and changed the equal employment opportunity poster and gave it the new edition date, minor changes, nothing substantive, as well as the public accommodations posters. So those have been changed, and that change is reflected in the language of the regulation. And because, excuse me, because I changed that, I also added to the summary of changes to the materials incorporated by reference. But again, the only changes made were just formatting.
Okay, I guess to get discussion going, can I have a motion to approve and adopt the emergency regulation and the regular regulation, all three.
So moved.
There's a second.
Second.
Okay, floor is now for discussion. Any discussion regarding what has been proposed and sent to us? Yes. Tony, we need to see you.
Oh, okay. I'll let y'all see me. I am.
That's fine. No,
I am.
that's fine. That's good. No,
Okay.
for you to count and be accounted for, we have to be able to see you.
All right. Cool.
Meeting. Is there
All righty then.
any further discussion regarding the motion and the regulations? So Roy, are you okay?
Mr. Holloway, I'll save you some time if you want to go to the next page. The only changes to it are on that back page there. Yeah.
Got it, Chris. Okay. Before,
Yeah.
and then the ordinary is just a duplicate of the emergency, it just takes longer to pull through.
That's right. But we should deem it an emergency because again, the folks who are obligated to do things under the regulation, you know what that obligation is.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Anything else for you, we do for you, Mr. Sale?
Need you to sign these.
I don't know how to write my name. They didn't teach me cursive in school.
You can sign it with an X, however you do.
I understand, finally in Kentucky adopted the statute that now they're gonna teach cursive all these years.
If they've got gray hair, I know they taught you.
Okay,
Just a final comment on that. Going to get the governor's signature on the statement of emergency, and as soon as I do, I will take them up to Frankfurt and get them filed. So I appreciate your consideration. Oh, it's Brandon's cursor.
So with that done, it gets us to, there are no committee reports, any new business? Hearing none, then we go to this follow up on our commission information retreat. Maria sent to all of us, a summary of, what we discussed at the meeting, it's like, what, last month now, I think a month ago. In terms of that, so the question, I guess, where we left off in terms of mission and vision statements, I thought we were pretty well coalesced around the change in the mission statement. I think the vision, we were still debating or having some discussion on. If I recall correctly. The current vision statement that we have, it says a Commonwealth united against discrimination, a Commonwealth united for equality. Comments or any questions or anything regarding that? Or maybe we all do it in pieces. So I guess I should go back. Any question, are we comfortable and the draft of the mission statement, are we okay with?
Just for clarity, we're looking on page 12. Is that the mission and vision revisions that we're considering?
It was a separate sheet. So what Maria did, she took notes on what we discussed. They sent out, there's a two-page document that was emailed to us. I guess more than a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, approximately 2 weeks ago. In the session we were having, I'll read this to make certain, because I don't know everybody has the same thing. What we at least discussed then was the mission of the Kentucky Commission on Human Rights is to promote enforcement and understanding of the Kentucky Civil Rights Act to foster a united Commonwealth dedicated in the eradication of discrimination. I think we had talked about that and there seemed to be a consensus around that. Judge Stringer used her drafting expertise to put that together.
I just sent another copy.
Maria just sent to you everybody another copy of that, of the document itself.
Thank you. I've received it.
May I make a quick comment?
Yes.
The only thing I wanted to point out is we are an enforcement agency. And in the mission to say promote enforcement, we're not here to promote enforcement, we are here to enforce. And so I would either change it to ensure enforcement or just to enforce. I think promote enforcement weakens.
Or switch it around, the rights is to enforce and promote understanding of. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Yes.
Any other thoughts on the mission?
Was it dedicated to the eradication of discrimination rather than in?
Okay. Any others? So changes that people suggested, it would read, mission of the Kentucky Commission on Human Rights is to enforce and promote understanding of the Kentucky Civil Rights Act to foster a united commonwealth dedicated to the eradication of discrimination. Okay. So let's move to the vision statement that was this was one of the suggested. The current vision statement says a Commonwealth united against discrimination, a Commonwealth united for equality. What you have on the page is to foster collaboration throughout the Commonwealth to promote the interests of its citizens through outreach, education, and understanding of the Kentucky Civil Rights Act. And I think before we had a lot of discussion around vision being what we envision, where we're going and what to become, as opposed to describing an action.
I guess this is good. I just see a kind of a redundancy in the part saying understanding of the Kentucky Civil Rights Act. It's mentioned in the mission. So I wondered if there might be some other attribute that we would want to highlight in the vision.
You know, I personally, yeah, I guess when I look at the current vision statement and what's there, it's drafted on paper, I'm probably more comfortable with the current vision statement than I am with changing that. But I need to know what your response, reaction, what we think.
Chair, I would agree with that assessment. The current vision statement seems to be more impactful.
We read it again just for fresh hearing.
The current vision statement says a Commonwealth united against discrimination, a Commonwealth united for equality. There's a vision of where we want to go and what we want to seek and accomplish.
Yes. Is there an issue with the word equality?
You taking this environment too serious, right? Yeah. You know, I think there are folks outside of this body would probably have a issue with it, but I do think that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yes.
You stop there.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to think, I don't have a copy, I didn't bring my book with the copy of the statute in. But I think the statute actually uses the word equality, doesn't it, go?
Pardon me.
Equality is in the statute.
In
I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
the,
Sorry, I was doing some reg stuff. I feel pretty comfortable saying yes.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I think that may answer the question for Frank in terms of,
Yes.
and the other thing is, Representative Decker from over in Shelby County, who was the main author of the bill that passed on the House floor, says that she doesn't like that word equity, but she does like equality. So what's your pleasure, folks, regarding the two versions?
I like the
I
original
concur with
version.
I concur with Commissioner Worth and also Commissioner Stringer here. And I think we could leave the existing vision statement in place.
Okay. Then we move on to the commission meetings, which was one of, I guess, probably generated more discussions than that. So what we talked about was inviting legislators, local commissions, special interest group to our meetings, and then for each of our having topic experts come in and make presentations so that we would in fact do that. I think that's pretty non-controversial in terms of where we are. Then Nate, from meeting schedule, we said maybe move at least 4 of our meetings out of Louisville and we across the state. Meeting in Western Kentucky and meeting in Central Kentucky and meeting in Eastern Kentucky. And I think there were suggestions there. Commissioner Parra said she would take February in Bowling Green. Commissioner Lidman said he would take April in Lexington. Commissioner Worth will do up in Covington, and Commissioner Henry would do Ashland at some point in time. So the question is, are we all in favor of moving our meetings around the state to get more involvement and get the word out in terms of what this commission is? As I've said before, there are a lot of things flowing out of Washington, executive orders here and there. But in terms of what our obligation is if we have Kentucky statutory authorities that says, in spite of all the executive orders, Title VII has not disappeared. The 14th Amendment has not disappeared. So there's still law on the books for which there is enforcement, and we're obligated to do that. So I think it'd be a good idea to move around the state, and we'll know what those dates are in terms of where they are. Then the frequency of the meetings, which was, I guess we approached it, but never really decided. Our business that we just did in this meeting took us about 35 minutes. 35 minutes. And with that, unless we got a fuller agenda, I don't see us coming together, maybe except virtually, every month. The way we've changed the process, and we don't necessarily have to approve the cases to advance it anymore. That's just really a report to us. Each of the functions of the office, the financial report, the legal report, the mediation report, you get a written document, and they tell my report is in the board book. So the question is, do we need to meet more frequently? And I should not more frequently. Do we need to continue to meet as often as we have been in the past? Do we need to go to quarterly meetings and then do special meetings if something is required or asked of us? And I think we can do special meetings with is it 48 hours notice under the open meetings law?
Maybe less.
Yeah,
I mean, 24. That could be 48.
I think it's 48.
Okay.
I think especially in the tumultuous times we are going through with budgets, with oversight, et cetera, to suggest that we are decreasing our activity, which is how it can be read in a piece of paper, and to very clearly say we are decreasing the oversight by those appointed by elected officials, puts us on very, very worrisome ground. 2023, we're gonna have a new governor. I don't know who that's gonna be, but I'm willing to bet some money. I don't think this effort to decrease funding is going anywhere. I don't think this effort for increased oversight is going anywhere. I think making a public move that says that we are decreasing oversight and seemingly decreasing participation is a very, very dangerous move for the future security of the commission and the future budgets of the commission, et cetera. I think it's putting us very much in the public eye in a move that the appointed commissioners are stepping back. There is decreased participation. I don't think changing the way, for example, that we oversaw cases is as public a move. And I think especially right now when people are looking for things to cut, or looking for things to put on the chopping block, suggesting that there is less to do, less to oversee, I would much rather see these meetings elongated and increased education efforts coming through these meetings, increased participation by commissioners in local and statewide events, as Juan has been doing. But I think taking a vote to decrease something puts us in very, very shaky ground.
Others.
I would say that we've just discussed moving around the state. And so the rationale for moving throughout the state, to me, implies that there is a need for more visibility or more interaction and awareness. So to what Commissioner Litvin has shared, I would say that in my heart, I do think that there is another work of the commission that's not been really realized in our routinized pattern that we may want to pursue more areas with that. We have talked in this commission meeting about repeat agencies having issues or businesses, etc. And perhaps there are some patterns that we should analyze that are on the increase, and working with our local human rights or human relations commissions is on the table. So I'm just wondering if it's not so much a diminishing of or changing of a meeting schedule, but being more impactful with other types of things in this season that would demonstrate more visibility, that would demonstrate that we have more of a finger on the pulse of what the import of a commission like this should be doing. We have a fight. Personally, I think that we have a fight upon us, and our voice needs to be of such, but I think it's more targeted. What I'm sensing that we should think about, and our staff is doing a great job with the routinized aspects of cases, etc. But a philosophical issue in the state of discrimination and these issues that our education team is highlighting and bringing out, and then even acknowledging and affirming the good works throughout the state that further sometimes it's just that we need to lift up people who are doing work just finding new or innovative ways to make this commission come alive, um, that revolutionizes things as opposed to getting caught into routine. To me, that's kind of what I hear, both of what you're saying, Chair Burse, and also what you're saying, Commissioner Litvin. I think we could find some synergy in looking at innovations for this commission.
I'm all for the innovation. I would just note that budgetary wise, us meeting every month is not a major line item for the commission. It does require time of the commissioners, but it also allows us. She's not here this week, but it allows Commissioner Starr to share beautiful pictures she takes every month. It allows me, when I meet with legislators on a regular basis, to say I was just at a commission meeting and this is what's going on. The work is being done. The work does need to be funded. And for the cost benefit analysis of us saying to the state, this is a continuous thing going on, and your appointees, Frankfurt's appointees, which is what the commissioners are oversight, are watching things, are involved, etc. When there is a definitive narrative being made that, I mean, as Sana was just pointing out, from the taking out major civil rights administrators and decreasing their numbers and decreasing those efforts, we could certainly see that same thing here in a year and a half, that same effort here. And I think to have a line item that says that the oversight is decreasing, that the involvement is decreasing, is setting us up for a fight that we cannot win down the road. I think it's a grave, grave mistake.
Others.
Well, I think if we go to hybrid, so that there are more virtual meetings that are where everyone is virtual, then you save a little bit. We can do it in 45 minutes and it's not that big of a encumbrance.
Any others?
I tend to agree with Commissioner Levin. In this current administration that we have nationally, we don't know from day to day whether we're going to exist tomorrow. So there needs to be steady and reliable source of information for everybody in the public. If they know that the commission has its monthly meetings, they know we are here to work in the interest of all of our constituents, then that sends a message to the administration. We aren't going anywhere. We're going to try to enforce everything we have right now. Like you said, Title VII has not gone anywhere. I would put yet on that, because everything that is lined to bring equality to everybody, no matter what race, nationality, color, origin, whatever. There are things on the chopping block trying to get rid of everything that is going to be put in place to bring everyone on an equal playing field. So I think that we need to be a constant presence in their face, say, we're here, we're not going anywhere. And this is one of the ways to do it.
I think it's pretty clear that reducing the number of meetings is not on the table in the cards and where we are. I think the next question becomes, we talked about meeting around the state. It's about the substance of those meetings and what will be on the agenda. I think when we go out in the state, it should be more than just going there to meet. Ought to be something that is either impactful or educational in each of those communities where we go. And you know, I would love nothing better, you know, if we do the meeting virtual, is for these commissions around the state to join us in our monthly meetings. And maybe we ought to give them a standing invitation to in fact join us.
How many active local
Yeah,
commissions are there?
There are 22 of them who are actually active, yes.
If we could ask 2 a month, regardless of where we're meeting, we're still gonna have the internet option. If we could ask 2 a month to prepare a 5-minute report on what's going on.
It's a good idea.
And if we're in, so for example, Commissioner Worth has a new mayor who's been involved in city government for a long time, but who is the new mayor. For him to see commissioners from across the state and to hear reports about what Bowling Green's doing and what Louisville's doing. Mayor Washington is certainly someone who wants to bring additional change to the city of Covington. To bring support to him when we're meeting in Lexington, to have the Lexington Commission there, but also to have reports about what Ashland's doing and what Hopkinsville is doing. I think with 22, I mean, so we meet 10 months, not 11, but if we work that out, a 5-minute report on what new initiatives you have going on. I think it could be a challenge to our commission, but especially when we're around the state. Like certainly when we're in Lexington, I'm going to invite Mayor Gordon, I'm going to invite local commission, I'm going to invite city council members, and I'd like them to hear what's going on, especially because we don't do that many cases in Lexington because of the size of the Lexington commission. To hopefully get them to have a better investment in the Lexington Commission, who gets their funding from the city council. My 2 cents.
Yeah, well, we got
Talking about this week.
We got some work to do in terms of the agenda, and what we need to do and include and to make at least those meetings more robust around that. So, you know, I don't think we're gonna decide that today, but we know it is a to-do that we need to in fact work on. Then I think the other big thing that's on the sheet is communication, how we communicate. How do we get the word out in terms of where we are? What's our, website presence, social media presence? How do we change or enhance those things? But again, I get, as we're staffing up, we may need to reimagine how we do that.
And we have already begun. Maria has been very active as far as getting rid of or disabling in some ways the former Facebook pages. We have an official Facebook page. The link will be on our website. She's working on the Instagram right now. We found out some information about TikTok. We won't be doing any TikTok. Just so you know that, but we are working on that, and yeah, I know. So we are working very hard to make sure that everybody knows exactly what they're looking at is from us or from you, so we are working on that as we speak.
Practiced all these dances for nothing now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Chair Burris, if I could ask a question, I see a note here about add a commissioner section report. I'm not sure exactly what that relates to, but I've had some curiosity about accountability to our region that we represent. What does that mean? For example, you Commissioner Chair are state at large, whereas I have District 4. So I've wondered with our various responsibilities, is there, should all of the state at large commissioners have something that you work on? And then is there something that I should be in District 4 focused upon? And if so, how could we go about doing that? Or is there some partnership with staff people that a certain report comes up to us according to the district we represent? I just kind of wanted to inquire about that.
I think other than representing, other than the appointment by districts to get a geographical distribution of members of the commission, I don't think there's any specific obligation that flows from a commissioner to his or her district. I think it ends up being what you're willing to make of it and what you're willing to do. And again, while we're having this discussion, that may be something that we want to explore further as in terms of should there be some additional responsibilities for commissioners for their area in terms of doing. I think moving our meetings around the state and meeting in various districts will give us a better view of what the state is and maybe help to further define what the engagement of a commissioner ought to be in his or her district. That's my thoughts on it. I don't know what others think as well.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Well, that's it. We're not gonna, as I said, we're not gonna resolve all these things today, but I think there is a lot, there are food for thought, and that we ought to be thinking about some of the things that we can do. I say at one point, the commission, when it had maybe almost 40 people working for it, because we did research projects and all of that, you could have discussion around those projects, where they're going, what the results are, and disseminate those across the state. I said, we're not equipped to do that. We're getting better staff. Probably, I guess right now, we're probably as close to full staff in terms of what's there the entire time I've been here on the commission. We have lots of vacancies. And we may need to work on that. The other thought is Coach Buddy Joe, who is now a professor at the University of Louisville Law School. We could probably get him, ask him, depending on if it's to not come in and teach a class, but to come and have a discussion with us about what he is seeing in terms of that. He is a civil rights lawyer. And what's on the horizon is maybe we start inviting people outside to come in and do presentations for us on a subject, and invite the commissions around the state to be here and participate in it. So that's a way of, an educational outreach type of function. But that's, all those things are something we can work on. And I think we just need to continue this discussion. I think it's been good. I think the session last month was really good in terms of getting a number of things out in the open on the board. I don't have anything else I want to do. Looking at the sheet with these topics for further discussion, is there anything on the sheet that any commissioner would like to bring up and discuss further?
The only thing I'll note is that the date that was originally captured on the sheet isn't a great date for the visit to Northern Kentucky, to Covington. And I'll work with Cynthia and the team possibly to see if the week prior would be a possibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Okay,
Chairperson, may I add something?
yes.
My review of the statute, I didn't find equality. I found fair treatment a couple times, however. So for what it's worth, also 24 hours notice is what is required for a commission meeting.
Okay.
24 hours.
That's right.
Okay. Our next meeting is October the 16th, now scheduled for here in Louisville. Are there any announcements from anyone? Here. Hearing none, can I have a motion for adjournment? Move second, that we're adjourned. All those in favor say aye,
All right.
or raise your hand. Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for your time. Let's keep thinking about, how we can enhance and further define our working relationship and what we can do to make this commission even more impactful. So thank you.
Adjourned.
So you should.